Hey guys, today I am setting up my home journal in this beautiful notebook. For full transparency, this notebook was very kindly gifted to me by Tifosi a few months ago. I am sure I showed you in one of my vlogs, and from the moment I saw it, I knew it needed to be used for something long term because it just looks so good, so vintage, so regal. Perfect for some kind of chronicle type of journaling. And what better use than a home journal, right? Because hopefully it will be with me for a long time. My home, I mean. Well, I live in an apartment, but apartment journal sounds stupid. And as the quote I will put on the first page in a few moments says, "Home is where my habits have a habitat." So I think this should be called a home journal. First, I am working on the cover page. I never know what to do with this first dotted page in my journals, and a quote page seems nice. But I want to decorate it first. I am using these French RYEMIART washi tape stickers because how could I not? We have this cute building in here and some trees and lots of flowers. I wanted this page to be quite colorful since the quote itself is black. I could have printed it in different color, but honestly that did not occur to me until now. I am also adding a smaller decoration on top of the page, this time with these very bright and colorful Sunlit Meadow washi tape stickers. Both of these tapes are from the washi tape shop, and as always, links to everything used in this video is in the description below. Now it is finally time to put in the quote and then even more decoration all around the page. Of course. I need to mention one thing. This quote is the only thing written in English in this journal. I really liked it and I wanted to include it in here, and I did not really find anything better in Slovak. The rest of this journal is going to be in Slovak, and I struggled a lot with this decision, but in the end this journal is here for me and for my home, and since my first language is Slovak, it felt appropriate. My first thought was to set it up in English so you could understand what's going on. But then this journal would not be here for me, but for YouTube. And I would probably end up writing in here in Slovak anyway, since I have to think about what furniture is called what in English a lot, and I would just not bother with that. Also, the furniture stuff will become important later. Okay, so the decoration is done, and I could also not pass the opportunity to make this cute heart out of the vines on the left side, and then I put this swan in and it is just adorable. I genuinely thought this was done, but it felt like something was missing, and I had to walk away from this page for a bit for me to figure out what. And I think I did. This page was missing a character. I looked through these cute character stickers I have, and I picked a few girls with colors similar to the decoration, and in the end I used the one with pink blouse. And guys, I think this sticker made this whole page livelier and maybe elevated, more thought through. I just love it so much more. On the next page, I am going to put in the floor plan of my apartment. I just scanned the page from the official documents I have. Then I opened it in Krita and tweaked few things here and there. Then I printed it on clear sticker paper and placed it on the page. In the upper corner, I have one of the stickers from the Sunlit Meadow washi tape, and I paired it with this blue lined washi tape, and I will use this combination for the whole journal because I just loved it more than I thought. I did not really have a plan on how to decorate these pages, but this tape is so cute and so colorful, which is good since there will be a lot of writing in this journal. And I know I will enjoy using these pages much more when they are decorated. Oh, and yes, the pôdoris means floor plan in Slovak. On the right page I have a list of furniture and its sizes. And the sizes part is so important because I kid you not, guys, I like to reorganize my entire apartment every few years, and I do minor tweaks every year, and I have to measure all of my furniture every single time. And then I write it down, use it for the project, and then next time I cannot find it. And I have to remeasure everything again. Yes, this will save me so much time. At first, I thought I would designate maybe 3 pages for this list, but as it turns out, I don't have that much of a movable furniture. The word movable is important here. I definitely have more furniture than this. There is still some space left at the bottom, so 1 page seems to be just enough for this list. Let's start working on pages that were one of the main reasons I needed home journal. On the left side, I am drawing a floor plan of my living room, and on every spread I will draw a floor plan for each room or a cluster of mini rooms separately and in the same scale. My apartment is on the smaller side, so A5 notebook turned out to be just perfect, since I can use 1 square or the distance between 2 dots as 10 centimeters in reality, which made drawing all of these plans so much easier than having to calculate and resize everything. So, as I said, this is my living room, and it is very, very tiny with no windows. Yes, I don't mind that. And it is 240 centimeters in width. So I made a line 24 squares long, and that's it. I really hope this makes sense. I have these built-in bookshelves / storage in here, so that's this weird part at the top of the floor plan. And it is done in the thick line as well, because that is never going to be moved. I also marked my TV in here because I am also not going to move it since it is mounted on the wall. And the reason why these floor plans are so important, I will show you after I sketch all of them. First, let's talk about the right page. This is a space for inspiration. My living room is a place I enjoy and use the least in my entire apartment, and that's mostly because I don't really like how it is furnished. I have this cute light blue couch and the blue bookshelves wall, and the rest was just thrown in here without much consideration. So lately I have been doing some research, and all of these pictures are things I at this moment feel like I want in my living room. On the bottom picture there is a floor plan I made in IKEA planner, and while it is not exact because I could not find everything in there since I will have furniture from also other stores, it is a nice approximation of what I want it to look like. I totally fell in love with this cute long wooden table with built-in storage that I am set on buying it when I will have saved enough. I also have a couple of lamps in here and a plant, why not? And I glued, and glued is a strong word, all of these pictures in here with glue stick. I know is terrible, so it holds this in just enough, but it will be very easy to peel these pictures off the page if I change my mind. I know I could have an online mood board or something, but I just love this manual approach much more. On the next page I have a small room plan. Yes, I have a small room and a big room. I am a master in naming, I know. The reason I don't call this bedroom or filming room is because, as I said, I tend to rearrange all of my furniture every few years, so the purpose of each room is also different every few years. Okay, so there is a floor plan with black pen, and I marked in the functional, is that right word, places, so like a space my door takes up when opening and closing. It visually and practically shrinks this small room so much. I also marked out the radiator, so I know I can't put heavy furniture in front of that, or that there needs to be some space left. On the right page there is also a space for inspiration, and most of these inspiration pages will stay blank for now because I am currently focusing on the living room and on overall decluttering. next is big room. And as you can see, it is twice as big as the small room. And that's because I originally had 2 big rooms, but I built in a wall roughly in the middle of one of them so I could have more rooms. And that's why my living room has no windows. So again, I am marking all the unavailable spaces with gray marker, and this art wall I have marked at the top of this spread is a dark blue wall with lots and lots of artworks from my favorite artists. So marking that in here makes it easier for me to know that I can't put high furniture in there, but so far our table is okay, so I won't block the wall off. I love it, and even after years and years, it is my favorite thing in this entire apartment. So, of course, I want to see it all the time. I don't really have an inspiration space for this room because, frankly, I forgot. But I can glue stuff inside the floor plan, so that's okay. In here, I clustered together the hallway, toilet, and bathroom. It takes up more than 1 page, so the place for inspiration is not big, but that's okay since I can't really put anything in here. But having this space just in case is nice. Okay, and the second to last room. I hope this is not boring for you guys. So this is my kitchen, also tiny. And I hope you have noticed, but I put the English terms in the top corners of this video so you could know what I am working on currently. All titles on the left page are in the top left corner and everything from the right page is on the right. That's kind of a compromise I made between making this journal in English so you could understand it and making it in Slovak so it would be easier for me to use. Lastly, we have the newest addition to my home. Balcony. The inspiration section is quite big since the balcony is so tiny, but I don't really mind that. We just put in the flooring that is these tiny wooden sections and it just looks so good. And I am looking for a perfect chair to put in there since I want to spend my evenings reading in there. Okay guys, so now it will slowly all come together. Based on the furniture measures I have in the beginning of the journal, I am going to use the last pages of this notebook to sketch outlines of every furniture again to scale and then cut it out. So, if the table is 120 to 60 centimeters, I mark and cut the rectangle 12 squares long and 6 squares wide. I made these tiny cutouts for most of my furniture so I could show you guys my genius invention. Yes, I am being sarcastic here. I also marked every single piece with its name and size since it can get confusing. And I also colored in back side of the pieces of each furniture that are different color than white. So, for example, I have this famous yellow chair from IKEA, so I colored the backside yellow. I can plan in black and white mode, I guess, but I can now also flip this piece of paper and see how the floor plan will look color-wise. And now, doing this voiceover, I think I should also color in my floors. It makes sense, right? Okay guys, back to the filming table. So I have been just writing the voiceover for this video for 4 hours or so, and yeah, as I just realized, I think I should color in the floors in these floor plans as well, because that's something that probably won't get ever changed and it will make the planning more accurate. So let's go. Also, this is a cute chair. I'm looking for something similar but equally comfortable so I can read books for hours in there. Okay, anyway, let's go to the big room and let's color in this flooring. I have looked through my markers and I could not find exact color, but I think I am close enough. So my floors are wooden for most of the flat and they are placed in this chevron-like pattern, something like this. So it's not exact and I am going kind of okay, but it's fine. This is just like approximation, of course. This would only be perfect if I actually took a picture of my floor and somehow scaled it in and put it in, but I am not going to do that. And this seems very yellow, but I actually did some swatches and placed them on the floor, and this was the closest, so I will keep using this. Okay, this will take a while. Oh, this is, yeah, this row is going so nicely. I am not aiming to do the best job here, guys, as you can probably tell. I feel like I need to mask this off so I don't color behind the lines, because that is hard not to do. Okay, so now I can continue. Yeah, that's so much better. And it's totally okay if I go through some places multiple times, because this is a wooden floor. It has different colors all around. Also, there are sections made of different wood. It's more pinkish, so I'm thinking about just randomly adding some other color. Am I making this worse? Probably. Okay, so this is roughly how my floor looks. And yeah, it's a bit hard to see where the door is, so let's color this in again. And the art wall is here, and radiator and some pipes. Okay, and yeah, I just tested basically how this journal does with markers, and yeah, no bleeding. That's awesome. Okay, so now I can show you what I do with all of these little furniture pieces, and I figured it would be easier to do this now than writing a voiceover and then trying to match it to the footage, because yeah, I have already filmed the explaining session for why I am doing this, but let's just do it again now. So these are all my furniture pieces. I just put them in these clear sleeves and I just cut it off crookedly, it seems. And I'm just storing that in the back, so I could use just the pocket, but then all of these tiny pieces, they might get difficult to take out from this pocket, so I feel like this clear sleeve or little envelope or something is much better and practical idea. Okay, so let me show you. As I said, I am reorganizing my flat every few years, so every year I did all of this and then I lost it. So now it is in this journal and I will not have to measure everything again. So let me show you maybe what my room looked like 3 months ago, and then I will show you how my room looks now, or one of my rooms looks now, so you can see how this is working basically. So I had my bed here, and yeah, of course you can't really read all of these titles, so I'm just going to tell you. So this is my bed, this is the chest of drawers. I think it fits perfectly behind this door, but sometimes when it is very full and I can't really close the drawers, I can't really open the door fully, so I will have to work on that. Basically I need to donate much more stuff than I did, but there is still so much to do. Okay, I had, I think the the IKEA yellow chair here. Yeah, so it does not look that good on this floor, but in reality it looks perfect, because right here is this dark blue wall and this chair just stands out so perfectly. So let me flip it on the white side. One table in here, This was my editing table and basically table with computer, so I am doing everything on this one. And this is my second table, and I accidentally filled this in black. It's not black, it's this one. So I will have to redo that, but for now, let's use it here. Oh, I forgot to make my chair. So just imagine a big chair in here. Now this is Alex drawer. I had one here. Okay, there is another Alex drawer, and I think I had it here like this maybe, and I had another big long shelf with two drawers in here. Seems I did not draw this in either, but I will do that later. And here is my night table, okay, and my bookshelves. So I built those last summer, and I had them like this. So this was my sleeping area, and this was my computer and working area. This is my working table or filming table. And I had these big filming lights, and they take up so much space on the floor. So I have to do big triangles for those as well. So imagine also this space was blocked out. And it worked kind of okay. I really liked that from this table I could see the door. It just felt so much better. But I don't know, for some reason I just did not feel okay. I felt really, really cramped. So this year I decided to take all of this away and I moved my bed in here. I first had it like this, but then there is a window and it was blowing wind right on my head, and that's not good. So I moved it like this. Now I have nightstand in here. This chair stayed somewhere here, and the chest of drawers, I think it will forever stay in there because it's just perfect for that space. Okay, and I moved my bookshelves in here, and they fit perfectly on this wall like this. And I have just this tiny space in here, and it is perfect for my ironing board. This just worked out perfectly. Okay, now that I have all of this space in here, I could move my workout flooring, or I have the thick tatami mats for my workout area, so I was able to fit them in here. I also need to make something like this for those, so let's just use that. Okay, so this is my sofa, but that's fine. So I have workout area in here, and here I am storing all of my weights. And yeah, this is so much better. I also bought this like clothing rack. I don't know how to say that in English, but when I came home from outside or from work, I never had a space where to put my clothes, because like they are not clean anymore, but they are also not dirty, and I would probably wear them at least 1 or 2 more days, depends on weather and how much I sweat and everything. So this serves this purpose, and it's a game changer. I am not using it fully yet, because like 10 years of habits, you can't just erase that in 1 week or something, but it is so much better. And yeah, I love this little thing in here, and I have just enough space to walk around and use it, so that's perfect. I love this so much more than I did before. So I wanted to show you how I am using these things and why I needed to make all of these floor plans in the same scale, so I could plan everything in here and I don't have to worry if the furniture I plan on putting in some room, if it will actually fit there. So I can just check with this. And now all of these tables I moved to this small room. Again, there is this wooden flooring, so you won't see that as well. But this is where I had my workout area, and I had one wardrobe in here and another in here, and I just donated this one. I won't say I did not need 2 wardrobes, but I know that I have to go through all my stuff and donate a lot of it, because I am wearing maybe 5 or 10% of everything I own, and I don't need that. I already started a few months ago, but it is taking forever. Also, I need to figure out how to get rid of everything and where to take it and all of that. So that's a task completely on its own, and it's so much to consider and work through and think through. But I am happy I am finally working on that. Okay, anyway, so this is the small room, and now I put these 2 tables in here. This is my computer table, and this is the table we are on now. And they always need to be close to each other, because I have my microphone put in here, and it's on this arm, so it is leaning somewhere here, and it needs to be able to slot into my computer. So I always need to have this table close to each other. So I went with this layout. Here I have my studio lights, and here is a big wardrobe that just stayed in there, and it barely fits, but that's fine. And I put this big Kallax unit in here, and I can just store there so much, but also I still need to go through a lot of it, but I already started, and that's fine. Okay, and I have one more Kallax, so I just fit it in there. I don't think that's, yeah, this one is the right one. So I have shelves in there, and they are slightly moved forward, so I am not blocking the radiator. And there is my big chair, and it might seem very small and squished, but I actually feel good in here. And I know I will feel even better when I tidy up this space and organize everything, because right now there is so much mess. But I am slowly, very slowly making a progress. So yeah, this is how I use this stuff that might have seemed like stupid, or I don't know, when I started this journal and when you did not know what I was actually doing. So this is what I was actually doing. Okay, so let's put this away, and now we can go back to voiceover RYEMI. Okay guys, and now let's set up a when did I last spread. I feel like this is perfect for all of those house tasks you do only once or a few times a year, and it would be nice to have it noted somewhere when the task was done. Under this cute title, I have the space on the left where I will write down all of my tasks, like deep cleaning a fridge or a freezer, cleaning windows, wiping down doors and light switches, tasks like that. And the rest of the spread is dedicated to a calendar of sorts. I did not think this spread through, and I had no idea how this will turn out, but I think it's just what I needed. So right next to the cleaning task column, there is a line of letters that might or might not look familiar to you. Yes, those are a first letter of each month in Slovak. I started on June of this year, since I don't really want to track the past, and I was able to make a column for September 2028 as the last one. Also, I made very wonky second line highlights for the whole thing, because it will make the table as big as this much more user-friendly, and also it looks cool, even when wonky. I wrote out all of the tasks I could think of off camera, and I marked the months I completed them. And guys, I did not think I had this many tasks to do and to think about. I was so sure I would have more than half of this column left blank, but that's okay. I don't really plan on adding more in here, and there are still 4 rows left if I remember some other task to put in here. Next is a very simple page, and that is for repairs and installations, because I have no idea what was done when. I have a very vague recollection of some water measuring thingy being replaced a few months ago, but I have no idea when. And this page is here for me to note it down. So when some stuff gets replaced or repaired, I would have a better idea about what was done when. And I couldn't figure out anything to put on the right page, so I just added the small decoration in the corner for now. And it might become something later, or it might be just a part of repairs and installation section. Okay guys, last spread. This is another big reason I needed to make this journal. As I said multiple times in my recent videos, I am doing a big decluttering this year and it occupies my mind so much I need a space to note stuff down. This spread is called Big Decluttering 2025 and all it is a place for me to list all areas in my home that need to get decluttered and organized. So like every shelf, every drawer, everything. And once I go through that space, I can check it off here. Yes, I get a great pleasure in checking things off, so this might also help with the motivation, which I so desperately need. I bought this apartment many years ago, and yes, I'm still paying a big mortgage on that, but that's totally unrelated. And I have never in all of that time went through my stuff and got rid of unused or not needed things, and it is finally time. I have binged so many of Clutterbugs videos recently, and she gave me the push to finally start. And it is a lot of work, and while I have been doing this for months, I am sure it will take so much more time. It might roll into 2026, but it will get done. I have decluttered and organized quite a few spaces in the last few months, and I am already feeling much better and much lighter in my home. My home deserves this, and I deserve this. So even while I am in this middle project slump, I am so determined to finish this project. This spread was also not planned out, so I made few mistakes with second line highlights in here, but I don't really mind. I decided after the marker lines were put on the page that I want to make a section for each room, so it would be more organized and clear, and I can see what progress I made in each room. I filled all of this in for now, but I am so sure I forgot about a few spaces here and there, so I am glad there is more space left in each column. There is a vertical line at the beginning of each column, so I can make a check mark there after tackling that area. Again, motivating myself with these tiny things. And guys, that's it for my home journal. I know this video is quite long, but I hope it was interesting and maybe you have got some inspiration and ideas out of it. Let me know if you are keeping a home journal or some version of home journal and what is your favorite page. It would be awesome to get some more ideas about what to add in my journal, because I definitely have lots of space for future projects and lists. I have never set up any journal similar to this one, so I can't really tell you to go watch this and this video, but here are some examples of my recent videos, and if you like any of them, you can just click on that and watch it next. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have absolutely a lovely day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.